Something big is happening. This isn't just a car purchase. This is about legacy. I've been lucky enough to drive some of the most sought after cars on the road, from the Lamborghini Revuelto, Porsche GT3 RS, Aventador SVJ. But what I'm about to do now, this is different. It's always been my plan to leave my Aventador SVJ to my kids so that they can own it, love it, and drive it. So this next car is going to go right alongside it. So I am finally ready to talk to you guys about something that's been brewing for a while. I am getting a hypercar, and it's happening in the next few months. And this video is my accountability. But before that gets started, you're probably thinking, what car is Tommy in right now? We haven't seen this one. As you can see, it's got a Brabus logo on the headrest. But if Nathan back up Nathan, let them see. Hey, it's a smart 4.3 or the smart #3 Brabus. Before we get started, I just want to quickly go through the car collection update, what's coming, what's going, so you can have an idea about what this hypercar journey entails. So first of all, let's start off with something that's staying, the Huracan Storato. This is the first time that you guys have seen it wrapped in this wonderful spy grey wrap that Yanamai's actually hooked up for me. If you haven't watched the video I did with Yanamai's, we spoke about that wrap in the video, and he was kind enough to give me a free roll. So I wrapped that, and I wrapped the BMW i7 that you've already seen. Another car that's not going anywhere, surprise, another Lamborghini, the Lamborghini Urus Performante. There was a time where I was considering selling this car, but after having a few SUVs, this is just on a different level. The values on them hasn't dropped too much. I wasn't expecting it to do as well as it's done, but especially in this high spec, it's been quite safe. I've had a few offers to buy it, and I accepted one, then I changed my mind last minute, so sorry Lamborghini Pangborn about that. Anyway, another car that's staying, surprise, a family car, the BMW i7. Someone came over a few days ago and said to me, oh, did you actually buy this car, or is it like part of a deal with BMW? We actually own this car. It's not a promotional thing. I just really like the BMW i7, especially with the Yanamai's Avery Dennison Spy Grey wrap on the lower half. Porsche GT3 RS. It's got to go. It's got to go. 992 generation GT3 RS. I really love this car. This has been the most track-honed and performance-focused car that I've ever owned. But big things are coming, and sacrifices have to be made. So this is going. The Aventador SVJ is going nowhere. You're probably thinking, Tommy, where's the Revuelto? Well, the Revuelto had a slight issue. It had to go for service. So it's at service now, and they found the wheels, the alignment wasn't right, so they've realigned it. It's probably turning up any minute now. I'm not sure if you're going to see it on video. SF90, you guys are probably like, Tommy, where is your SF90? We haven't seen it. Well, I haven't seen it for 7 months. I'll give you more information in a later video because I don't want to get sued. And what other car do I have that's not here?
You got 9, you got...
Oh, Purasangue. Oh my God, Ferrari Purasangue is in storage right now just because we had a lot of cars on the drive. I'm not sure if I'm keeping or selling it, if I'm being honest. The more I've had it with Urus Performante, I feel like the Urus is the better SUV, but the Purasangue is the better weekend car. But as you can see, I've got a lot of weekend cars, so I don't really need a 4-seater weekend car. But we'll get to that anyway. But yeah, that's the collection update. GT3 Touring's on the way. You know, in fact, you just reminded me, I need to call my dealer because I spec'd the GT3 Touring. My dealer called me yesterday and I forgot to call him back. He's probably not going to pick up.
Welcome to the O2 method.
He'll probably call back. But yeah, GT3 Touring's coming and something else is coming, and that's a hypercar. And before you get a hypercar, you need a hypercar-worthy garage. So there's garage works happening to turn this car, well, this car haven, this car home, this car park into something a bit more functional, something that focuses the cars as a work of art. And also, I'll be able to do my podcast. Surprise, Tommy podcast coming soon, and sim racing. So surprise, Tommy's Sim Racing League coming one day. I'm probably not that good. But I think we should go inside now and I should talk you through this hypercar journey because it's well and truly underway. Each of those cars have meant something special to me whilst I've owned them. The GT3 RS, track weapon, focused, dialed in. The SF90, insanely fast, but it's become with too many problems. And now I just really want to move on past that. The Revuelto, another amazing car, again, insanely fast. The Purasangue, ultimate daily driver. Like, people would dream of driving something so special. But do you know what the issue is? None of these cars are forever cars. None of them are something that I could pass down. What I want now is a legacy on 4 wheels. And there's one brand that stands out above the rest. So let's talk about my journey with them. My love for Porsche started when I was about my son's age, before I even moved to this country. My dad bought 2 scrap Porsches and rebuilt them by hand. My first proper performance car, performance being in quotes, was my Panamera diesel that I bought several years ago. It was black and it did a lot of miles and I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed it so much that I didn't want to see it go to anyone else than someone that really and truly loved that car. So I passed it on to my friend Nathan Franklin Brown and he still owns it to this day. However, no matter how much I love Porsche, I fell out of love with the brand when my relationship with my dealer started to feel a bit transactional. It went from cars that I could experience and enjoy to Tommy, you should buy this in order to get that, and you should buy that in order to get this. It just became very tedious. I didn't enjoy it anymore, and it felt like buying a Porsche was no longer an experience and more like a transaction. So I moved on to other brands like Lamborghini and Ferrari. However, last year I found Porsche High Wycombe, a branch that made buying a Porsche feel like an experience once again. The people there were amazing and the service was something to desire from other brands. So it made me a lot more enthusiastic about Porsche as a whole. I bought my GT3 RS, I have my GT3 Touring on the way, and Porsche High Wycombe is one of the 2 branches in the entirety of the UK that's allowed to service the Porsche 918 Spider. So you know what that means. I've had this idea in my head for months, maybe longer. I even tried to buy a Porsche 918 last year. I put a deposit down, it was 25,000 Great British pounds, and I was ready to go. The 918 was finally happening. However, the dealership then called me and told me another party was interested. At this point, despite me leaving a deposit with them, I was like, if someone's interested and like you're saying, they want to pay cash, then sell the car to them, that's fine. Send me back my money and I'll move on to another one. However, the dealership insisted on holding my deposit regardless of whether I bought the car or not. That was £25,000 down the drain. However, after some back and forth, I got my deposit back, but the taste that left in my mouth was bittersweet. I then found another 918, this time in the perfect spec. I really fell in love with the car and I was ready to go. Then unfortunately, the owner called and said they want to use the car for Goodwood Festival of Speed. Why they put it up for sale in the first place, I'm not sure, but I kept getting these false starts with the 918 search, which just left me feeling disheartened. And now, even if I find the perfect 918, I found out the warranties are expired and are no longer being renewed, the batteries are coming near to end of life, and the service costs run into the tens of thousands of pounds. So this means cars will have to go, and my entire thought process around buying this car is changing. What am I gonna watch today? Oh, you caught me reclining and relaxing. Oh no, I spilled popcorn everywhere. If you follow me on TikTok and if you follow this channel, you know that I've really wanted a Porsche 918 for a long time now. It's been a car that, it's been like a poster for me. And it sounds a bit mad because I have a lot of poster cars that people would only dream of, and I'm lucky enough to be able to experience these cars. But I think I'm ready for the next step up and going into something that's a bit more unique, something a bit more special, and something that ultimately I can leave to my son and my other child on the way, so that when I'm no longer here, they can have this family heirloom that not only they can drive, but they can enjoy an experience and have it for financial security. The hypercar market is very interesting. It's not like regular cars. These cars tend to only go one way, and that's up. If you look at the Porsche Carrera GT, new, they were a lot less than they are now. But if you go to 2014/2015, you could pick one up for 500K. If you want one today, you're looking at around 2-point-something million pounds. That's insanity. And I want my children to enjoy that insanity too. For me, the 918 has always been the dream. When the Holy Trinity first dropped, I used to think the LaFerrari was the grail. But with time and age, I realized the 918 is my hero car. Not only that, LaFerraris are around £3+ million now, which is outrageous. Whereas 918s are still around that £1 million mark. Also, service and maintenance costs are a lot less significant on the 918 Spider. My wife Camille is a big part of my decision-making process, and I want a car we can both enjoy. The 918 ticks every box, but I'd be silly not to cross-shop it with other hypercars. So let the journey begin. Let's go look at some cars. So I'm on Auto Trader now. In case you don't know, Auto Trader is like the #1 platform in the United Kingdom for searching for cars, and there's one 918 for sale. I mean, this is essentially the place you go to find these kind of cars. However, occasionally they do come up. This one is at Tom Hartley, who I've been introduced to by Yanni. This car is a very, very good spec, but like I said, I'm not gonna just dive straight into the 918, especially after having so many false starts. I kind of want to explore my options. So let's take a look at a few other cars. The first car we'll check out is the cheapest one on the list, and that's the McLaren Senna. There's currently 10 for sale, and there's another one, again, at Tom Hartley. This is a track-focused super/hypercar. Currently, this car isn't as sought after as other models, but in the future, this will be a £1 million car, without a doubt. They look very interesting. The looks are quite divisive, but I've had a bit of an issue with McLaren. So I'll tell you about that. Like my good friend Mark McCann, I also expressed interest in buying a McLaren W1. I also got it put in writing that I was confirmed getting an allocation. McLaren told me that if I buy a 765 and if my friend also buys a 765, we would both get an allocation for a McLaren W1. We did this in good faith, and unfortunately, it didn't materialize. We both purchased 765, spent hundreds of thousands of pounds, only to be told that our W1 was not coming. So because of that issue and the fact that things like the windscreen on the Senna are extremely expensive, it kind of makes me not want to buy the Senna at this point. It might be a car I buy later on down the line. And I also want to say this isn't a McLaren issue as a whole, this was a dealership issue. McLaren is a brand that I've grown to love, especially after owning my 765. So the Senna isn't off the table for good, but I'm not entirely sure this is something I want for myself right now. But again, I'll have to check it out. Another car that is potentially on the list is a very iconic one, and it's the Bugatti Veyron. Prices range, so I've seen some sub £1 million. The prices seem to be again creeping up. This is a car that has been, I don't know, in the cultural zeitgeist since Top Gear did that episode where Jeremy Clarkson, did he race a train or was it airplane? He raced a train, wasn't it?
It was the train. No, they were meant to fly, and then it got too late,
and they take a train.
Hamster, are you really hammering along now?
We do have problems. James has just told me that he hasn't done the test that allows him to drive the plane at night.
That episode of Top Gear was the first time they did like that kind of thing, and I think that cemented the car in the automotive history books in a sense. Not only because the car is super fast, but that episode just made the car feel like nothing that anyone had ever seen before. And it would be insane to own a Bugatti. I think this would actually be a crazy, crazy car to own. My only issue that is a bit old right now, and also servicing and running costs are insane on these. This is a random one. I'm not even sure if this is a hypercar. Is this a hypercar?
I feel like it looks cool, but I don't know if I call it a hypercar, but it's fast enough to be a hypercar.
It's a bit like the Senna, isn't it? Basically, it's the SF90XX. One sold on collecting cars. The same website I bought the Purosangue from for 1.7 million euros. So this is firmly within budget, but I don't know. I've had in an SF90, I have an SF90 that I haven't seen in a long time. Do I need to get another SF90? An SF90 with a wing and some cutouts. It looks cool, but I'm just not sure, especially at 1.7, because these were, I think, 700 new. So it will be painful to be paying 1 million over, and I'm not entirely sure they're gonna hold their value. So a quick break, I found out that only 10% of you are subscribed. So guys, make sure you like and subscribe to the video. Another car that's part of a holy trinity, albeit a holy trinity from further back, is the Porsche Carrera GT. This car is insanity on wheels. It's a V10 F1 developed engine. It has no flywheel, so it revs like a basically, but probably want to blur that. It's an amazing car. I would love to own one, but it low-key terrifies me. The reason for that is that these cars are known to injure or maim their drivers, and I don't want to be injured or maimed, and especially if I'm leaving the car to my child. Obviously, they're not going to drive it as a child, but I want to be able to drive them in the car, and I want to be able to drive my wife in the car. I want to be able to do trips, and I don't want to be afraid every single time I get in the car. But I think this is a viable option. But there are a few downsides that kind of put me off. These are a lot cheaper than I thought, the Ford GT. But Is this a hypercar? That's not a hypercar.
No.
That's a sports car, no, supercar, sorry. Is it? I don't think that's a hypercar.
What engine are they?
V6.
V6.
Yeah, V6.
V6.
But the
100
new
grand,
Ferrari
that's
has a
it.
V6, so the Ferrari F80 that has a V6. So if Ferrari can do it, why can't Ford? I mean, it looks cool, but I've never ever really been like, I want this car. I'd probably buy this old one before I buy the new one. I like these. Oh, that's quite a good price for these. I thought there would be more than that now. So I'm on the phone with my arch nemesis, is what the internet will have you think of it. I'm with Yanni right now. Yanni hooked me up with Carl Hartley about getting the 918. So it looks like that's probably one to go for. But I just wanted your opinion on something. Would you go for a 918, Carrera GT, McLaren Senna, or what was the other one we were saying? Ford GT?
Okay, Carrera GT, no.
Okay.
That's a proper widowmaker. Old. I'm just like, nah, that's not for me.
Yeah.
I love the 918. I love that car. The Senna is a great car because I drove DMOs in Dubai.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
I said Ford GT, but I forgot to say the P1 as well.
The P1, the problem is Mark's just bought a P1.
That's what I was saying, bro. Like, I don't want to look like a copycat. I think we know what the answer is, don't we?
Listen, 918 to me still looks great.
Yeah.
It is a convertible.
Yes.
It's honestly, I would love a 918. I don't have your P, but I would.
What is he saying, bro? What is he saying? Hey, listen. Ignore this guy. Okay, so when I get this car, the Yanamai's Grand Tour, I'm coming on that. When is that happening again?
Towards the end of June, and it runs into the beginning of July. Starts in Rome and finished in Dubrovnik, and it's going to be crazy.
That sounds like a good route.
It's going to be good. So it looks like when the 918 is here, if I get a 918, I mean, it's looking like I'm going to get the 918 over everything else. I'll be on the Yanamai's Grand Tour of it. So that'll be a baptism in fire.
Mate, you're going to have the best car on the tour.
All right.
Like,
I'm actually intrigued now because I want to know what car you're going to be driving.
do you know what I know? Shall I tell you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have a good one, bro.
See you, my brother.
Anyway, bye. The Bugatti Veyron, crazy fast, iconic, but the costs involved, run flat tires costing over £30,000, servicing running into the hundreds of thousands of pounds, and the fact that it looks like a bar of soap, they kind of put me off. The SF90XX, I've already had an SF90. Do I really want the remix? The 812 Competizione, mostly part of the same story. They're loud, they're fast, but essentially, it's just an uprated 812 Superfast. The iconic Carrera GT, art on wheels, but dangerous, thrilling, but terrifying. The McLaren P1, a true member of the Holy Trinity, but after Mark McCann got one, I don't know, I don't want to be a copycat, and also, my heart has always been after one of the Holy Trinity. And that is the Porsche 918. It ticks every box, usable, attractive, fast, Nürburgring lap holder, and also I can take the roof off. So I think this might be the one. My automotive journey has come from seeing my dad build Porsches from scrap, and now I might be buying a Porsche 918. So the 918 seems to tick every box. It's a car that I can see myself handing down to my kids in about 30 years time. And it's just so funny because around 30 years ago, I remember my dad building 911s from scrap, which is insane. So this car might be the one, but I'd be a fool not to cross shop. So I think it's about time we go and look at some cars. As I pretend to walk away, just like and subscribe, because if you want to see the rest of the journey, you kind of have to be subscribed. Thanks. Thanks for watching.